nobody gained anything out of it. It wasn't motivational for the other people. And clearly, I wasn't motivated at all. I was ashamed of everything, and not this kind of ashamed, like, oh, I will. I saw a video actually of someone with ADHD, because I also have ADHD. He told a very emotional story of a teacher humiliating him. And I thought about it, and he was very emotional. And I'm like, I experienced the same thing. I was a really, really, really shy kid at school. I was so shy that even when I knew the answer, I couldn't bring myself up to raise the hand and give an answer to the teacher, because I was so scared of making a mistake. And like, everyone knew that I was a bad student. I had bad grades. Like, I couldn't hide it, but I still didn't want to raise my hand and give the wrong answer, because I thought that when I raised my hand and make a mistake, everyone would laugh at me. They wouldn't want to be my friends anymore, and they would hate me forever. And I don't know why, but I was so scared of making a mistake that I didn't raise my hand at all, even when I knew the answer. I was a kid, so I don't know where these thoughts came from, but that's how it was. So everyone would knew that I was a bad student. I couldn't hide it, because of course my friends, my family, my parents, me, myself, my teachers, and my classmates, everyone knew that I had bad grades and I was a bad student. I was the kind of kid, when the teacher would give us the exams back, he would put mine back, backwards, so nobody could see my grade. If he would write on the blackboard how many grades we have, there would be like A's, the B's, the C's, and then there would be like 2, 3, 4 F's, and you would know that I had one of them. I was this kind of student, a very, very bad student, but I never was loud or anything. I had fun with my friends in the back, always in the back of the class. I had fun, of course, and I would sometimes, make like play with them a little bit. And I didn't, I had ADHD. I didn't care about class stuff. Outside of the window was always more interesting than the teacher and all like this. Just kids. I was 15 years old, I think, at this point, having fun in school. Like, God forbid, kids having fun in school. And there was this one day, we have this concept called Notenbesprechung, where the teacher sits outside. He will call every student on their own to go outside, and then you have to you have to grade yourself practically. He asked, through this whole school year, how good do you think you were? And then you would say, oh, I was good, I was bad, I would give myself this. And then he says yes or no. And I don't know, you can go out and say you are the best student. He would say, no, you failed this class. I don't know why they even do this whole process. But this was a very scary moment for me every time, and I don't know why, because I knew I had bad grades. So was I really scared of these bad grades? No, I just was scared of this moment when I go out, he would tell me I failed class, and so he would think that I'm a very dumb kid. And I don't know, this is the point. This is something that I didn't want anyone to think about me, but I knew I was next. I was very nervous and scared. Then I walked out. He would say, you are bad," and I'm like, "I know." And then I could go back in, and then everything would be fine, because I talked with the teacher, my social anxiety, everything's good. The teacher is outside, and this whole process of talking with every student on their own, this takes a while. So in the meantime, they usually give us some sort of assignment. Read this page and then answer questions 1 to 10, blah, blah, blah. And then we will talk about them very quick and everything is good. It was German class, actually. So I think we had to write something. We really had to analyze some sort of text or something like that. So we had to write something on paper, like 2-3 pages long. The teacher was outside, so everyone, the bad students, I was one of them, we just had fun in the meantime. Everyone would write stuff, and I was just very, what's the word? I was very distracted. Of course, because of my ADHD, maybe. I don't want to use this as an excuse, but I was always very distracted. I was always very distracted. I would have fun with a friend of mine who sat next to me. We would play this game. You take a pencil and it's like 5-finger fillet, where you try to not hit your hand. And we would just play this game because the teacher is not there. We have time. We can start in 5 minutes, although class is nearly over. And then we would play this game, and I didn't realize that the teacher already came in the class, and he saw me doing this game. It's also a moment where the class is loud, of course, because there's no teacher inside, no authority to keep the peace. So he was inside then. I was playing this game. He came to me, and he, I still have this in mind. It's very creepy, actually, because I was focused on my hand. I saw, the class is quiet, and I'm like, oh, what happened? I can see him walking towards me, very slow, like very slowly, with very small steps, coming towards me. And he looked onto my desk and he saw the paper. He saw the paper that I wrote, and he realized that I only wrote about 4 or 5, only filled up about 4 or 5 lines. So, just a very small text that was on my paper. And then I started to play this game, of course, and was distracted the whole class. He said nothing. He just took the paper, my whole college block, just so you have something, like this. I had this on my table. He took this, my college block, still said nothing. Then he raised it in the air, showed it around the class, and he still said nothing. And I was like, okay, I will get he will. I knew, of course, this wasn't going anywhere. But he took this, and then he said, my name's Mike. Hello, I'm Mike. This is everything that Mike could write in 90 minutes of class. And then he would put it back. And I still don't know, like, when I think about it, he took my piece of paper. I just had like this part of the page filled. That's everything. And it's obvious I didn't do my assignment. That's it. But he held it up and he made me feel I just couldn't do more. Like I'm the dumbest kid alive. And he showed it to the whole class, and like everyone in the classroom knew that I was a bad student. So I don't know why he put that up. And then, it was just like normal for me. He was okay. Now he will show it to everyone and they will know that I'm dumb and bad. And I knew that I was a bad student. There's nothing he could have. Don't know why he needed to pull this paper up and show it to everybody, to show how stupid I was, or I don't know what his point was. But I just took it because it was so normal for me to get, made fun of and called a bad student. It made me feel so bad in this moment. So I felt so humiliated because my parents are Polish immigrants who moved to Germany. And in Poland, the teachers back then, they were a little bit differently. They were there to really kind of also raise the kids. They would beat the kids if they made something wrong. And they were really there to not only to teach them stuff about, the world, but also, to raise them a little bit. I was raised with the narrative that teachers are people of authority. I should respect them. I should, really be there. The teacher is a person that you should respect. And if the teacher says something, it's law. Kind of like that. I'm very happy that it's not like that anymore, because parents realize how stupid teachers really are. But in my day, it wasn't like that. Like this happens. He did it to me, humiliated me in front of the whole class. And I was, of course, I felt very bad. The feeling when you're at your friend's house and he gets yelled at and you're just sitting like there, you're just sitting there on the other side of the room, like you ain't see anything. This is how everyone else must felt. Nobody laughed. Nobody was like, oh yeah, this stupid Mike, he got what he deserved. Everyone was just like, okay, like they knew I was a bad student. They knew, like, if you would give me a week to finish this assignment, I wouldn't have done it. I never done my homework. I was a very bad student. There's nothing you could really get out of this situation in calling me and doing this to me in front of the whole class, because everyone knew. I didn't thought about it like that much because it was so normal. But when I got older and I was thought about school again, this was a moment which stood out, because when I saw the video, I was like, hey, this also happened to me. And the guy in the video who said how stupid his teacher was, I was like, he's right. If you think about it a different way, for me it was normal, but I was 15 years old. I was shy as hell. When I went into an electronics store, my mom said, I'm gonna buy you a game. I was going to the aisle, looked for the game, and I didn't found it. And then my mom was like, oh, maybe they have it somewhere in the back. Just ask someone. I was like, no, I don't want it anymore, because I didn't want to talk to customer service, to someone there to ask them if they have the game there. I was too shy. And when my mom was like, I will ask for you, I didn't want that. I was just very shy, very anxious about this. So if you think about it, I was 15 years old, and this guy in his 40s gets into his class of other 15 years old, picks me and humiliates me in front of the whole class as a 40-year-old man. You fucking idiot. This is something that really changed my whole perspective of this all. Because I was back then I was just a small kid with this teacher, the authority, who goes to the rest of the class and says I'm the dumbest kid in the world. Which I was like, okay, this is normal for me, I understand it. But when I thought about it that way, there's like this 40-year-old guy. Everyone else wrote something down. There was no point of showing the other people how bad I really was. Nobody gained anything out of it. It wasn't motivational for the other people. And clearly, I wasn't motivated at all. I was ashamed of everything, and not this kind of ashamed like, oh, I will do everything better next time. No, I was ashamed of, like, I didn't want to go to school anymore. Who the fuck do you think you is? Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? I, to this day, don't understand it. And this guy, this teacher was known to be a little bit on the stricter side. I just wanna give you the story, and I want to tell you that he had no right to do this. And when I could go back, I would make everything differently, but I would defend myself more on this point. At the end of the class, like, I still got the bad grade. I could have told him that he was an asshole, and wouldn't change anything about my current situation today. I wouldn't do it that way, but I would tell him that he had no right to do this. Nobody gained anything out of it. Only thing that he got is his satisfaction that he called a 15-year-old student dumb. If you can put it down in the comments if you see any benefit for him at all, but I don't. I clearly don't. Thank you guys for listening to this video. I wish you guys all the best. You can subscribe, you can like, of course, but please give me your opinion down in the comments. What do you think? What do you think he gained? Did this ever happen to you? Just give me down your opinion in the comment below. Thank you very much.